special family, welcome back to another video. This is my second time making this video because for some reason I keep forgetting to connect my microphone since I'm using this new software. If you're new here, hello, I'm Autism Mom, and on this channel we talk about autism and everything in between. If you'd like to be part of the family, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. So today's video is a special treat for you guys. My friend, she tagged me in a post of this Facebook. I think she's a YouTuber and a blogger too. And on Facebook, her name is Finding Cooper's Voice. Now, there's a lady on Facebook who just found out that her son has autism, and her name is Laura Clery. Now, the person behind Finding Cooper's Voice, I think she's a mom too. She messaged Laura Clery and typed her out a beautiful message that I just had to share to show you guys how one autism parent embraces another autism parent and offers a helping hand for them through this journey. And it was the video that Laura Clery did on her son with autism, it made me cry. It made me very emotional. But then after the video, I saw this message which just add the icing into the cake. I'm like, this lady is just beautiful for embracing Laura like that, pouring into Laura and showing Laura that we are a community. We're not doing this on our own. And if we need advice, any autism mom or autism dad or autism family member will help you as far as they can. They will share their knowledge with you, and that's exactly what Finding Cooper's Voice did in this video. I just had to share it. So let's go through the message, and I'm gonna dissect some things as we go along. So she starts off, my message to Laura Clery: your son has just been diagnosed with autism. Maybe it came as a shock, maybe not. Now, in my case, it wasn't a shock because I was so upset of the unnecessary procedures and the unnecessary doctor visits and testings that I felt more guilty and in pain that I have put my son through all of this, and it wasn't even any of those things that they said he had. It was autism. So when she told me that your son might have autism, it didn't register. I wasn't present. I was just upset about the surgeries that were done and the procedure. So it wasn't a shock. But for some people, it was a shock. They had the idea that something was wrong, but they couldn't put a name to it. They couldn't put a face to it, a word to it. So when someone comes out and utters those words, autism, it's like it tugs on something. It grabs on something, it makes you feel something, and you burst out crying because now it's like, it's real. Oh my God, it's real. It has a name. This is the thing. So I'm not crazy. There is something going on. I'm not crazy. So to some people it's a shock, and to some people it's not. And then when they tell you, it's like you lost a family member. It's like that is, it's like you lost a piece of you. So yeah. So she goes on, maybe like me, you already had an idea that something was going on, but you still felt the sting when the words were said out loud. Yep. When they say it out loud, it's like, oh my God, it's real. It's real. Yes, it's real. There are so many things I want to tell you, so many important things that I feel you should know. But right now, if you were anything like I was 7 years ago, your head is spinning. Not only is your head spinning, your mind is racing 20,000 miles per hour. Everything is going through your head. How can I help this child? Can I avoid this? Could I have avoided this? Is this my fault? Why me? Why my child? We're good people. We haven't done anything. How do I stop this? Can I stop this? Does it go away? Does it not go away? Does he have to live with this for the rest of his life? What if I die? What's going to happen to my child? Wait, would he be able to talk? Would he be able to do normal things like other kids? That's your brain when you first hear this word. Your brain just goes everywhere and anywhere, and nobody can tell you any different. You are motivated and paralyzed at the same time. You want to do everything you can as fast as you can to help your son, but you are also hitting a lot of dead ends. It feels like hurry up and wait. I'll explain to you what she means by that. You're motivated because now you heard the diagnosis. So you're thinking, okay, what can I do to help my child? I'll go get therapy. I'll sign up for this. I'll do that. I'll do so. And then when you start a journey, you realize, okay, so in autism world, it's a waiting game. Every therapy, everything you want to do for your child, everything is a waiting list. And if that's not bad yet, wait, you don't have the hours that I'm not at work available? So how does my child fit into this? Your life changes in a flash. You are going to have to put you on the back burner. It's not about you anymore. Well, it wasn't about you since you had a child, but now it really is about the child. Some people have to quit their jobs to make sure their child get all the therapies that they need. Some people living situation change. Some people realize who their real friends are. They had none because now they have a special need child and they need help. And yeah, when you didn't have a special need child, you were more fun. Now all you talk about is autism, and we don't really like that. Yeah, that becomes a reality. Friends and family, you have to screen them. Now you have to be 100% in for this child. And it's like, I want to do it now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then you finally get into the therapies after a waiting game. You get there and then you realize, oh, he might need this for the rest of his life. Oh, he might need this therapy till he's 18. So then you look up and then you're like, this is not a pot on the stove. This is a crock pot. This is gonna take a while. I'm in a hurry, but I'm in a waiting game. I'm in a hurry, but I'm in a standstill. And you're gonna be hitting a lot of dead ends. The dead ends can be, you make too much money. I can't help you with insurance. Because some autism parents, all they want is the help with the insurance because the co-pays are killing them. But they'll look you dead in the face and tell you either quit your job, go part-time. But if you're trying to help yourself, we can't help you. So you're going to hit a lot of dead ends and it'll feel like you need to hurry up, but you have to wait because in autism world, everything is a waiting game. At least it did for me. So you feel a bit like you failed your son. You feel scared and worried and angry and sad. You feel it all. Man, this is where one of my favorite topics comes in, and it's acceptance. You feel like you failed this child. Why me? Why my son? Why my family? What did we do? Couldn't I do something better? Did I do something when I was pregnant? Did I eat something wrong? What about the therapies? Did I start therapy too late? Did I notice it too late? Did he go to the doctor too late? All of that plays a role in your head. You get scared, you get worried because if you die, who is going to treat your child the way you do? That's something I worry about until today. If I die or his dad passes, who's going to treat our kid the way we do? Who is going to put in the effort the way we did? Who's going to try to understand him the way we did? Who is going to go above and beyond the way you do for your son? Some people have family standing behind them. Some of them have them, mom and dad, or mom. Some just have dad. So, yes, you're going to have those thoughts. You're going to be scared and you're going to be worried because they will outlive you. In most situations, they outlive you. What's going to happen? What autism parent won't think like that? Like, trust me, this is a real thing. And yeah, people need to know about this. This is how we as special need parents feel. I won't throw a bunch of stuff at you because either you won't remember it or it will overwhelm you. Too late. It already overwhelmed her. I'll just tell you the really important things. First, your son is exactly who he's supposed to be. He's not different because he has a diagnosis. It wasn't given to him by a doctor. He's the same amazing kid as he was before the label was given. Remember that. This woman is just a saint. She's just beautiful. Yes, your son is exactly who he's supposed to be. You couldn't help that. There's nothing you did. God sees and God knows. God has a plan for him. God has his own chapter for him. So you couldn't do anything to change that. He is who he's supposed to be. Yes, he's a little quirky. Yes, he does things a little different. But guess what? He is not different. He's different, but he's not different. He's just who he's supposed to be. And the world needs to accept him just like he is. He didn't ask to be the way he is. He's just advanced. He's just special. He's just above the norm. That's how I look at it. It just warms my heart reading this. Some people, the diagnosis was given by a doctor, some were not. But think about it like this. When you gave birth to that child and you didn't know they had autism, you fell in love with that child. When you were pregnant with this child, you were in love with this child. When you saw this child for the first time, you fell in love with that child. Guess what? You're still in love with the child because it's the same child that's from the beginning to now. It's the same child. Yes, they're different. Yes, you maybe wanted a different outcome, but this is it. They're here. They're here now. Nobody's going to love them any better than you, and nobody's going to stand up for them the way you did. They're here. That's all we got. We got to make it a better place for them. We got to make it comfortable for them. We got to go above and beyond for them. See what I'm saying? They're here. And they're special. Second, let your son show you the way. He will lead you off the path of typical and into his magical world. Go with him. Sit, listen, learn. Just be there with him as he studies the sky and the dance system music you cannot hear. Be his shield too. Pause. Let your son show you the way. That is something I had to learn, and I'll explain. I was so into autism that when it clicked, like, wait, your son has autism. I'm over there ranting and going on with this doctor. And then when I get home and I dive into like, wait, she said he had autism. What is this autism? And I go and I do the research on this autism and I see what it is. Goosebumps, crying, stressed out, depression. I'm sitting there like, how can I help my child? Wait, this is a lifelong thing? Is this fixable? You're going through a rabbit hole that you leave yourself out. It's so quick to let yourself go. Like, count yourself out. Erase yourself because you're trying to fix this. You're trying to give it your all, your best. And there's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is, don't be like me. At one point, I had erased myself. I let myself go into this rabbit hole. And I had to stand and look into the mirror one day. I couldn't recognize me. This is my testimony. I couldn't recognize me because I gave myself to autism. I had to make sure that I come back to earth. Come back to me. Find me. And it's happening slowly and surely, but that's what it is. That's what being an autism parent is. You go above and beyond for your family and for your special need child, that it can be so severe that you let yourself go. But you have to come back and let this child guide you into his world. Let this child show you the way. After I accepted that he has autism, because that's another thing we struggle with, the acceptance part. It's almost like we can't accept that this child has autism because we feel it's our fault. There's nothing we can do. We can't help them. And it's like, maybe there's nothing wrong with him. But when you finally accept, okay, he has autism, I'm going to let this play out. I leave it in God's hands. Let it play out. You let it play out and things start evening out. It starts smoothing out. I started to have no expectation. If I wanted to do something with him, I'll just do it and prepare myself for the worst. I'm not going there with any butterflies, flowers, and the thing imagination. I'm going there like, let it play out, let it be what it's going to be, and I'll just handle it from there. And this child just guided me, led me into his world. And it's like now I'm almost not needed. My child is so independent that it scares me. He wakes up in the morning. He changes his own Pampers. Okay, I have to still wipe them, but he'll take it off and go get a new one. He will go into the refrigerator, get a juice, open it up, put the straw in, get a yogurt. If I take too long to open that yogurt, go in the dishwasher, get a spoon. If I take too long to open the yogurt, he would poke a hole in there, open it somehow, and sit at the counter at the island and eat his yogurt. And I'm sitting there staring at him like, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's working. His independence is coming into. Golly, I couldn't see this. But then I was so focused into curing this child that I couldn't see a future. All I was seeing is the next day. I was living from one day to the next because I don't know what the next day brought. And every month, every week was a new behavior, a new challenge, a new thing I had to deal with. But I was too tense and too trying to keep the rein on everything until I accepted autism. Acceptance is an issue. Until I accept it and just let it go. Let it bring what it wants to bring and just deal with it. And now I just sit there and I look at him and I'm like, yo, we've created a big man up in here. His independence is just, whoo-wee. And let me tell you, when she says be his shield, she means be his shield. Because people will test you out. People will come up to you and try you. And you're going to be mama bear. You see how a mother bear is to her, it's a cup? That's going to be you. Because if anybody wants to get to that child, they have to pass through you. And you are the door to his education. You are the door for him getting all therapies. You are the door for him being protected at all times. You are the door, so you be his shield. Okay, she goes on to say, the world doesn't understand autism yet. Amen. And while you may not yet either, you are now at the forefront of this journey. You will encounter unkindness and fear towards his differences. The first time it happens, it will take your breath away. And no, there is no way to ready yourself for it. But once it happens, you will truly understand what advocacy means. And it will give you a strength like you've never encountered before. It is a gift to protect these tiny humans. Ha! Lady, finding Cooper's mom, God bless your soul. You are speaking from experience. I know. She has made so many points in these sentences that the world doesn't understand autism yet, and they don't. They look at our kids as damaged, as different, and we're teaching them day by day with channels like these, with Finding Cooper's Voice, with Laura Clery, teaching the world that they are human too. They deserve everything you deserve. They have the right to everything you have a right to. That's just that. She said, people will come up to you and you will encounter unkindness and fears towards the indifferences. People will act like your child can rub off on their kids like he has some disease that is contagious. They will ask weird questions that's like, are you serious? Your child will have a meltdown and they'll come up to you and tell you stop spoiling the child. That way you don't have to encounter behaviors like this in the supermarket while he's having a meltdown. They'll come up to you and tell you you haven't been doing a good job as a mother because your child wouldn't be acting like this if that was the case. Trust me, I have seen it all. People come up to me in the supermarket, why don't you just give him what he wants so he will stop acting like that when he's having a full-blown meltdown? You will encounter unkind people, not only strangers, but also family members will come and tell you the harshest things they can. How you embarrass them, how your child embarrasses them. Don't come over because they can't deal with this whole autism thing and this stimming thing and this meltdown. You will be able to separate the wolves from the sheep in this time. It's a harsh world out there. But once you start speaking up for that child and you show them that I am Mama Bear. I am his protector. We don't have to be around you. You start speaking up for autism. You start becoming an autism advocate. It's like this new power comes over you and you protect it at all costs. You will go and help strangers who just became autism parents, don't know their head from their tail. And you will tell them what you know, what worked for you, what helped you, what resources you had. You don't have to have a platform. Maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a cousin, or aunt, or uncle. You can give them your what worked for you in your own way, and that makes you an advocate too. So we as autism parents, we embrace one another. If you have questions or anything, hell, I'm here. If you see my Instagram inbox, sometimes at some of the messages just makes me very emotional because I can see myself when I was at that stage. When you don't know your head from your tail. But we as autism parents, we help each other. We will tell you what we know. We will give you the resources we have. Just ask. We're here. I know. I'm a little... Yeah, this is me. Third, believe in your son. Believe in him so much that people think you're crazy, and then believe in him some more. You will be told all the things he will never do. The story of his future will be written for him and you. Rip it up. Rip it up and write a new story. Yes, the chapters may be different than every other child you know. His story will be unlike the others, and that's okay. It will be just as beautiful and just as profound. No one else can write his future. Remember that. Believe in him. When she says believe in your son, she means that with every fiber in her being. I had to believe that my son can get to this point. I had to push no matter what the situations were showing me different. I had to push no matter how gloomy it looked, no matter how the depression kicked my butt. I had to believe in him and believe that this will work out for the better. People are thinking I'm being extra. I'm going, you just all about this autism thing. That's because you don't have a child with it and you don't know what it takes to believe in them. You will be told things he will never do by doctors, teachers, your family members, your friends. But guess what? My son proved them wrong. He proved them wrong. Not saying all of them are bad. There's some that'll be behind you 100%. But I'm preparing you for the worst. The story of his future is written for him by God. God has a plan for him. God has a plan for you. Maybe this is your calling to tell people about this and tell them how to function, how to go around it. But no two kids with autism is the same. So what worked for Sally's daughter with autism will not work for your daughter with autism. What works for my son might not work for yours, but it can give you hope. It can give you something that this is not the end of the road. Keep pushing, keep going, because you can make that child get to another level. He can be growing as the days go by, as the years go by. They grow to another level. They have a magical world that they'll take you to. And you just have to be willing to walk that walk, write that right, talk that talk with them. Believe in them. Don't let anybody tell you what he will and will not do, what he can and cannot do. You let him do what he wants to do. If he wants to talk, then he'll talk. If it was for him to talk, then he'll talk. If it was for him to be independent, then he'll be independent. But you just get on there and just let it come to you. His story will not be like other people's story. Yes, yours might be different because no two kids with autism are the same. And no one else can write his future. And lastly, give yourself grace. A diagnosis of autism can feel scary and different, and it's okay to say that. But different isn't necessarily bad. It's just different. Go slowly and take it all in. Give yourself grace. That is one thing we as special need parents will have to learn. Because, heck, I have to learn. Giving myself grace is not something I do because I'm so focused into him being okay. And it's something I have to learn. But if you can, give yourself grace, because if it wasn't for your push, if it wasn't for you going all the way in, if it wasn't for your research, your changing your living situation, changing your life, changing all your circumstances to benefit this little angel, it wouldn't work out the way it does. So it was because of you. So give yourself grace. And the diagnosis can be scary, yes. And it's okay to tell people, heck, my son is autism. I'm scared to death for his future. But guess what? We're taking day by day. We're taking life as it comes. And it might be different, but it's not bad. So we'll take it as it comes. Welcome to the club. Look at the helper mamas. We are out here. Whether it's other mothers like me or autistic adults who can teach us both, lean on those who get it. Ask questions and let us help when we can. You are not alone. Not ever. Signed, a mama who has been there before. Aw, that is so beautiful. Yeah, she's right. She embraced another special need mom with all the love and all the care and prepared her in the same breath. Look for other helper mamas like me. There's so many YouTube families on here who shows you what their life looks like. And I'm pretty sure if you have questions and you inbox them, they will inbox you back. They will get to you. This lady Laura posted, and look, this mom went and got there and offered her services, offered her help, and offered her strength and advice in this new world that she's about to encounter, the autism world. So ask questions. Let us help when we can. You're not alone. Not ever. Don't be afraid to ask. And welcome to the Autism Mom Club. We're here for each other. Signed by a mom who's been there before. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.